So knowledge of science, what is true science, is ultimately from God. We're not talking about the theory and the false ideas that are in the minds of some scientists who promote, for example, that this world is without beginning. You know, the atheists among them who deny God's existence, etc. This is not scientific. There's no scientific proof. One cannot prove by science God's non-existence. In fact, science points to God's existence rather than to his non-existence. However, we're saying that when we look at the issue of scientific fact, we find that in fact it's in harmony with Islamic teachings. You'll find many verses in the Quran which address points and issues which modern science has only just begun to find, to discover. You know, you find when Islam speaks about the issue of the Big Bang, for example. In modern times, we talk about the Big Bang, or the development of the universe. You can find a verse in the Quran, in the 51st chapter, verse 47. You'll find Allah saying, I built the heavens with power, and it is I who am expanding it. In the 21st chapter, verse 31, you find similar statements of the expansion of the universe. You'll also find the movement of the sun mentioned in the Quran, you know, that it has its own cycle, that it's moving, and that it's running to an end, an ending point where the sun will end. You find that in the 36th chapter, verse 38. And you even find mentioned in the Quran that human beings will pass through the heavens, leave the earth and pass into the heavens, you know, going to the moon or whatever. We can find in the 51st chapter, verse 33, Allah saying there, O assembly of jinns and humans, if you can penetrate the regions of the heavens and the earth, then penetrate them. You will not do that except with the authority, meaning the authority of God. So, I mean, there is plenty, you know, plenty has been written about the Quran and modern science. From the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, we find things which are only recently scientifically discovered based on modern scientific knowledge. So, Islam is not in opposition to science, not science fact, and the use of science for the benefit of human lives, etc. I know we have some sects amongst people, Christians, who shun modern science. They will drive around in buggies. They don't use electricity. They'll, you know, Islam is not in this kind of state. No, Islam will use whatever we can find in the society which is beneficial, scientific principles, technology, using it for the benefit of human beings and their society. This is part of and parcel of living and the right that humans have. Islam has no problem with this at all. But when we come to some of the theories of science, this is where we may find some problems. And one of the biggest problems is that of evolution. A modern scientific theory, though it's presented as a fact, which in fact is in direct opposition to Islamic teachings. And the theory of evolution will be discussed at some length in our coming segment. And we hope that you will come along to the program with us. You will follow our next program and be enlightened with regards to the Islamic position on evolution. As I said, evolutionary theory, not evolutionary fact. The facts which the evolutionists use, no one can deny. We have bones. These bones represent animals which were here on the earth, which died out. They are ancestors to living animals today. No one can deny these things. But how do we interpret these bones? That we will have a look at in our next program. With that, dear viewers, I'd like to thank you for being with us in this segment of our program, Contemporary Issues. You may write in to us, Sharjah Television, P.O. Box 111, Sharjah, UAE, if you have some suggestions of contemporary issues you'd like to hear. Otherwise, you may call into the television, or you may email myself at fld3@hotmail.com if you have certain questions. And we hope to see you in our coming programs. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.